Okay, in this video, I'm going to actually break down exactly how to manifest whatever you want in life. This is going to be a practical guide that's going to show you step by step how the law of attraction works, how consciousness creates reality, how the process of manifestation works with your thoughts, with your own energy and perception. And I'm going to give you a bunch of visuals for this. I want this to be the best video you've ever seen on the law of attraction. The pictures, the images make it so you easily understand exactly how this works. We get away from esoteric concepts, we get away from new age, and this just is the video that changes your entire life forever. So my name is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. And if you're having a good day, if you're excited about this video, make sure you hit the like button right over there on this side. You hit the like button, it'll send it out to more people. We can help wake up as many people as possible. Leave a comment down below that says thoughts create the world. Comment down below, thoughts create the world. And let's dive right into this video. Okay, first things first, you are just energy. That's all anything is. So right now you're seeing a picture. Now this picture is essentially you as an energy field. This is what you look like if your eyes were tuned enough to see higher spectrums of energy and higher spectrums of light. You're just a field of energy. You extend beyond your own body. As you see on the picture here, it's basically an orb or some type of a field of energy. This is the flow of your own chi. Now, we know, matter of fact, that everything is energy because an atom is 99% empty space. So an atom, my hand right here, right now, that thing right there is 99% empty space, 99.9. And so what is the empty space? That empty space is energy that vibrates at a frequency that is beyond the realm of visible light that our ears, our eyes, our senses are able to perceive. So this is much more of what you really look like. And I want you to start imagining yourself looking like this. So then you go, well, what decides my field of energy? Well, that comes down to your own subconscious, your own thoughts, and your own emotions. So this picture that you're seeing now kind of summarizes the idea of brainwaves. So what's happening is your brain is an electronic switching station. That's all it is. It's taking infinite energy. It's taking cosmic energy, and it is actually manifesting it through your nervous system, in your physiology, in your cells, that gets your cells vibrating at certain frequency levels, different amplitudes of energy that you perceive as emotions. But all emotions are energy in motion. That's all an emotion is. An emotion is an electromagnetic frequency that is vibrating through your nervous system. Now, every time you have a thought, you activate brainwaves. You activate cells in your brain as well. Now, we know this for a fact because when you go to the hospital, you can do two things. One, you have that up and down, beeping thing. Well, that up and down beeping thing is measuring your heart rate. It's measuring the electromagnetic frequencies that are coming out of your heart. Now, you can also do the same thing for your brainwaves, and you can actually see the patterns of electromagnetic frequencies that are emanating from your own brain. Now, every time you have a thought, you send these electromagnetic frequencies just like this through your brain. Now, some of them are positive, some of them are negative, but they are all activating parts of your brain, whether it's your amygdala and the electromagnetic frequencies activate fear, or whether it's activating your own genius. Your brain becomes an electronic switching station that controls the frequency pattern that your energy field, called your body, vibrates in. Now, as you will see on the screen here right now, there is a bunch of different brainwave states. This is essentially the electromagnetic frequency, the different vibration that your brain begins to operate on, in the same way that your radio station operates. You turn the knob and it sets the bandwidth of frequency at 91.1 to produce a reality that is a rock station, a projection of energy. Well, similarly, your brain has different frequency patterns. As you'll see here at the top in blue, you have gamma, which is insight, peak focus, expanded consciousness. You have beta, which is alertness, concentration, and cognition. Then you have alpha, which is relaxation, visualization, and creativity. You have theta, which is meditation, intuition, and memory. And then you have delta, which is detached awareness, healing, and sleep. Now, most people spend almost all of their time in basically the beta energy state. They're in a frenetic rat race, always busy, stress response state, and they spend the majority of their time reacting to everything that's happening outside of them, as opposed to being in a creative state of consciousness that will allow them to project the energy that they want to create their own reality. And I'm going to show you how to do that now. Now, here's how I like to think of the law of attraction in the process of creation. This is an image here that shows your brain, and it shows energy that is essentially being transmitted. Now, it doesn't come from your brain. Your brain is really a projector that projects energy or consciousness out into this giant energy field that you experience as your quote-unquote reality. But I like to think of it like this because, as you can see here, there are different frequency patterns of energy, or little orbs of energy, that are essentially transmitting from your mind. And that's what's essentially happening here, is you are projecting reality based off of your own consciousness, and more specifically, based off of your own feelings. Do you feel good about the money coming into your life, or do you feel worried and do you feel like this stupid law of attraction doesn't work? Do you feel good about your opportunity to meet your soulmate, or do you believe there's no good guys left, you can't trust anyone, love is pain, there's no point, it's just hard work, you're never gonna meet the right person? Do you believe that you can become rich and financially independent, or does that sound like a pipe dream and you spend most of your energy being jealous or angry or frustrated, or you think the rich people ruin the world? It all comes down to the subconscious feeling, because remember, feeling is emotion and emotion is energy in motion. So it all comes down to the subconscious energy that you are emanating from your own energy field, which in turn brings back to you similar circumstances and situations that match your own frequency pattern. So right now I'm bringing back the first image that I originally showed you because I want you to get a clear picture. So as you see from the crown chakra, from the tip of the head, there is a white light coming out. This is the overall frequency pattern that you are emanating that controls the current, that controls the amplitude of vibration that your overall frequency pattern, your overall field of energy vibrates in. This orb of energy extends far beyond your body. You can sense that in people when they come into the room. Someone has really bad energy, someone else has great energy. You can feel the energy on a subconscious level because by nature you are a spiritual being, you are energy, you can pick it up. So this field of energy is what sends signals or frequency patterns into the quantum field, and the quantum field, which holds all possibilities because time doesn't exist, it holds all possibilities, and when you send these frequencies into the quantum field, you in turn attract back to you, or you in turn manifest into your physical experience frequency patterns that match you. Just like whatever frequency you're on, you generally attract those type of people in your life. When you're in a self-harm, negative situation in your own life, you're frustrated, you're self-defeating, the types of romantic relationships match that. That person struggles with the same problems in their own life, right? And so what this is saying is similar frequencies attract back to one another. Okay, so I might be losing you right now if you think this is getting a little bit too new agey and new and kind of airy-fairy. I want to make sure you stay with me. First of all, that's that's why I always talk about my free success hypnosis. The link's right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com, and you can start reprogramming your subconscious mind. So it's right there down below for free, jakeshypnosis.com. But what I want to say here is, this is important to understand. Albert Einstein talked about this same exact concept. He talked about how E equals mc squared. And the whole point of E equals mc squared was that essentially matter and energy were one in the same thing. And we now know that for an absolute fact, because this, like I said earlier, this is just energy. It's 99% empty space. It looks solid, but it's just a massive energy moving at a very high speed of vibration. And to our eyes that are conditioned to see this as a physical object, we do. But if you get a powerful enough microscope, this is just empty space. That's all it ends up being, is pure empty space. And so we always thought, based off of the Newtonian model of physics, that we lived in a physical world and energy was an unexplainable side phenomena. Albert Einstein disproved that. So now what you're seeing here is a pretty interesting example of how reality works. So in the center, you see that it says E equals mc squared on the image. Now on one side it says matter, and on one side it says energy. So the way that reality works is energy is never created or destroyed. We know that scientifically. Science proves that energy isn't created or destroyed. All the energy that ever was and ever will be already exists because time doesn't exist. It just exists at frequency patterns that are beyond the third dimensional visible light world that we experience as reality, quote unquote. But it's not reality, it's just one little fragment. So, all energy is really doing is following the law of perpetual transmutation, which is that energy is always moving into different forms. So right here, I have a glass of water. This water can be steam, it can be ice, or it could be water. All it is changing through different states. Well, your thoughts, your emotions, and your dreams follow the same process. They can be fantasies. They can be idle things in your mind that you don't believe are possible, or they can be physical, material things in your life. You could be holding hands with your soulmate. You could be a millionaire. Your life could be substantially different in the physical realm, but it all begins in the energy realm. So you are always transmitting energy. As this graph illustrates, your energy turns into matter. Matter moves back into energy, and it becomes a perpetual state of transmutation where thought energy, emotional energy, consciousness, and perception are always moving into matter, and they're moving back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And what begins to occur after a while is that people start to believe that matter creates reality, that you live in a world of being controlled by your outside environment. But what they don't realize, because they can never get outside of the rat race brainwave state, they can never get into a creative spiritual state of awareness, into a spiritual state of being that allows them to recognize that it is them that is sending frequencies that are attracting physical matter experiences back into their life. Okay, so another way to illustrate this is with something called the observer effect. And the observer effect was something in quantum physics that's very bizarre, but it summarizes everything that we're talking about here. Basically, what they found out is that the scientists that would observe, there's something smaller than atoms. There's something called subatomic particles, and subatomic particles are all these little weird things. They're newtons and they're quarks and they're all these weird little names, but they're even smaller than an atom. And then eventually it turns into literal nothingness, into empty space. But what they found out when they would observe these things is sometimes they would appear as particles, meaning literally observable little subatomic particles. And sometimes they would be nothing. Sometimes they wouldn't exist, you couldn't see them. And so what they realized is that they could be energy, meaning they could be non-physical, or they could be physical, they could be perceivable particles. And get this, what determined whether they existed or not was the consciousness that was observing them. And so now I'm flashing this image up on the screen, and it's very interesting. So the top part says, before observation, wave, spread out over space and time. So wave means energy. It means it is non-physical, it is not perceivable as a point in space and time. Now at the bottom it says, at the time of observation, particle, localized space-time event. So when you observe this thing and you intended to observe these subatomic particles, they would become particles and they would localize in space and time, meaning they would exist as a perceivable point in space and time. They would no longer be non-existent in an energy field that you could not perceive. They wouldn't be a wave, they wouldn't be energy. They would be a perceivable, measurable particle that was located in space and time. So all of this is to say one powerful thing. Your consciousness is your own thoughts in motion. It's your own energy in motion. Now, you have free will over your own consciousness. Most of us spend the majority of our time in subconscious programming. Sub means below. So below conscious programming that is habitual. It's kind of like a robot, and it plays itself out our whole life. But we can change that, and that's why I always talk about my free success hypnosis, to begin brainwashing yourself for what you want, so you automatically create the reality you want, as opposed to the old crappy reality that we've been programmed to create. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's my free success hypnosis right there down below. So in this image here, I think it summarizes everything best. It says everything is energy, your thoughts begin it, your emotions amplify it, and your actions give energy momentum. So I want you to think of yourself like an energy field. I want you to think of yourself like a mini deity. And this mini deity has free will, it has dominion over its own mind, and it has the ability to think anything that it wants to think. More importantly, however you feel about what you think controls your energy. And your energy controls your brainwave states, and your brainwave states control the electromagnetic frequencies that send through your nervous system, and that controls the vibratory frequencies of the cells of your body. This creates your overall field of energy, or more layman, your vibe, bro. And your vibe is what sends a frequency pattern, a code of information to a quantum field of energy that controls all possibilities. In return, the quantum field matches back to you the reality that most suits your own energy that you're transmitting. Meaning, you can manifest the money that you want in your life. Meaning, you can attract your soulmate. Meaning, you could have your dream job, your dream career, you could be financially free, you could be rich, happy, healthy, and successful. But it all begins with an image. You have something called an image-making power. This is the ability to imagine. This is the ability when your bank account has $28 in it, you can imagine $280,000. So much so every day you can rehearse it that you feel it. It feels real. You feel excited about it. You feel grateful about it. You know your business is going to take off soon and you're going to get a bunch of clients. You could have the image-making power in your mind, so much so that you've imagined every day waking up with your beautiful soulmate after a great romantic night, and you're walking on the beach and you're holding hands and you're looking them in the eye, and it feels freaking amazing, and you're so grateful for love that you always knew existed. You could make that your frequency pattern that you send to the quantum field. You don't have to send your old crappy story about how the last 4 relationships didn't work out. You could send a different frequency pattern. It all begins in your imagination, and it begins with mentally rehearsing the images that you've imagined. And as you mentally rehearse the images that you've imagined, you begin to chalk up that emotion. You begin to chalk up that frequency pattern. And as that begins to occur, your emotions begin to start to be the decider of your own frequency pattern. And you in turn pull situations that match your frequency. So last but not not least, I want to show this last image to you. And this is how I want you to think of yourself. I want you to think of yourself. You see that white orb that emanates? That is you. That is the frequency pattern. You are always emanating a frequency, positive, negative. You're emanating a frequency of jealousy or abundance, of wealth and financial success and certainty, or of fear. And we're always sending these frequency patterns off. And I want to remind you, you are a powerful creator. Your thoughts are powerful. You're a spiritual being in a physical body. And you have the ability to always manifest whatever you desire into your life. But you must remember it already exists in the quantum field. So comment down below, all I want comes to me now. Comment down below, all I want comes to me now. Alright, so thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, I know it was a little different one, so if you enjoyed it, please hit the like button right there, hit the like button on this side, subscribe and bell notification, leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video and you found it useful, please watch this video again. There's a lot of imagery and there's a lot of subjects we covered. So make sure you watch this again to make sure that it truly starts to shift your own consciousness and your own paradigm. Now, last but not least, be sure to download my free success hypnosis. It's in the description and it's in the comments. It's right there down below. It's at jakeshypnosis.com right there down below. This is my free success hypnosis to reprogram your subconscious mind. All you got to do is listen to it for a couple minutes. What will happen is you'll start to reprogram your subconscious. So sub means below. So automatically you'll start to change the vibration you're in. You'll start to become a magnet for success. You'll start to be a magnet for opportunities, for money. Things will just start showing up in your life because subconsciously you change the frequency pattern that you're vibrating in. So it's jakeshypnosis.com in the description and comments right there down below for free.